morning and welcome to Unity of Music City online, whether you are here in the building, as a couple of people are, or watching us on Zoom or on Facebook or on YouTube or wherever it is you're watching us. We feel your spirits here with us, and we're so grateful that you joined us. I have a few familiar faces with me this morning. On the piano, we have the maestro Ryan Gill back there. You know Ryan. And we've got some familiar faces here getting ready to sing for you. On tenor back here, we have Sherry Gentry. On bass, we have Tim Sharp. On alto, we have Jill Spearing. And I think I remember how to sing. But anyway, we're going to try it out with some familiar music. So sing along with us wherever you are.
Some days I do, some days I don't, some days I will, and some days I won't. Some days I sink, and some days I float. Some days I get real smart and live by this quote. Let go and let God. Let go and let God. Let go and let God be in charge, and let my worries go. Let go and let God. Let go and let God. Let go and let God be in charge, and let my worries go. Some days I'm up, some days I'm down, some days I smile, and some days I frown. Some days I work, and some days I play. Some days I get real smart, and here's what I say. Let go and let God. Let go and let God. Let go and let God be in charge, and let my worries go. Let go and let God. Let go and let God. Let go and let God be in charge, and let my worries go. Let go and let God be in charge, and let my worries go. Let go and let God be in charge, and let my worries go.
I think I remember that song. It's like we did it not too long ago. And I'll tell you what we really, really miss. The reason why we always want you guys to sing along with us is because when our voices are tired on a Sunday morning, you kind of cover that up. And you're not here to do that. So I hope you are singing really loudly wherever you are. We're going to switch things up just a tad bit this morning. The very first thing we're going to do is the offering. So we have the offering affirmation up on the screen that I can almost read. You're going to have to cover me on this as well. Let's say this together. I am open to receiving floods of financial abundance with ease, so that I may be able to go. I'm sorry, I cannot read that. Even more to the world around me. Oh, yes. So here's what happens. A professional can cover a problem like that. I couldn't read that, but you could, and God knows. And that's what matters. So we say that together knowing that our prosperity is completely something that we are in flow with, and we are in flow today. as we give and we receive. So here is the ways that you can give tithes, donations, and love offerings. We're going to do that first. You'll see that screen again later on in this service. We've got a few quick announcements here. Our Unity chats have started on Sunday mornings at 10:30. You can log into Zoom and chat with some friends. It's like meet and greet, if you will. Hang out with friends and talk before the service. And then at 11 a.m., everyone will mute to watch the service. So the Zoom details are found in the weekly email, What's Happening at Unity of Music City. So be sure and check that email and follow us on Facebook. The Lunch Bunch Book Club is meeting via Zoom every Wednesday morning at 11:30. They're currently finishing the book Secrets of the Lost Mode of Prayer, and will begin Braiding Sweetgrass by Robin Wall Kimmerer on August 11th. That title alone has me interested, Braiding Sweetgrass. So I think that'll be a really interesting study. The Healing Arts Ministry is sponsoring a virtual wellness clinic the second Friday of the month using distance energy techniques. So your request for the Healing Arts Ministry can be emailed to uomcenergywellness@gmail.com. Again, check the email or the Facebook for details about that. Our prayer chaplains are available for your prayers. If you have a prayer or concern that you would like for the chaplains to be made aware of, you can email that prayer request as well to uofmcprayerrequests@gmail.com. On Tuesdays at 7, Empowering Self for Personal and Community Change is a Zoom meeting. It's like our old midweek classes. That's what's happening on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. You can contact Valerie White or Margie Hart for more information. The Zoom meetings, of course, the details can be found in the weekly email. Let me just also say that if you're interested in any of these things, but you're a little afraid of Zoom, or you haven't worked with it, or you're not certain what to do, there are plenty of people around here who can help walk you through that. It's a pretty simple process. So please don't let that scare you away from engaging. Wednesday, August 5th, there's a meeting of the Awareness Ministry. And if you'd like to be involved in discussing new ways for Unity of Music City to interact with members and through social media, please join them via Zoom. You can find out again in the email the details about that. We'd love your ideas. The great thing about what we're dealing with right now is we've got lots of room to add new ideas, so bring them on. If you are a member, lastly, if you are a member and have not cast your ballot for the sale of our land and property, please do so. We need a 75% response. And if you need another ballot, just contact the church office. The Leadership Council meeting, this is actually, lastly, I lied before. The Leadership Council meeting is on Saturday, August 8th at 10:30 a.m. Any member of the church is welcome to join, and there will be Zoom information in the happenings. So if you'd like to sit in and find out what the leadership is talking about in regards to direction of our spiritual community, then please join us. That's quite enough. Let's sing something, shall we?
Imagine that love is all around. See it, feel it, be love. Imagine that love is all that is found. See it, feel it, be love. When we become what we're longing for, we are knocking on heaven's door. Imagine that love is all around. See it, feel it, be love. Imagine that joy is all around. See it, feel it, be joy. Imagine that joy is all that is found. See it, feel it, be joy. When we become what we're longing for, we are knocking on heaven's door. Imagine that joy is all around. See it, feel it, be joy. Imagine that peace is all around. See it, feel it, be peace. Imagine that peace is all that is found. See it, feel it, be peace. When we become what we're longing for, we are knocking on heaven's door. Imagine that peace is all around. See it, feel it, be peace. See it, feel it, be joy. See it, feel it, be love.
Our sacred reading this morning is from Gary Zukav's The Seat of the Soul. The affirmation, if you'll say it along in your head with me, in every experience and through every emotion, my true self is a soul of love. In every experience and through every emotion, my true self is a soul of love. The fearful and violent emotions that have come to characterize human existence can be experienced only by the personality. Only the personality can feel anger, fear, hatred, vengeance, sorrow, shame, regret, indifference, frustration, cynicism, and loneliness. Only the personality can judge, manipulate, and exploit. Only the personality can pursue external power. The personality can also be loving, compassionate, and wise in its relations with others, but love, compassion, and wisdom do not come from the personality. They are experiences of the soul. Your soul is the part of you that is immortal. Your soul is not a passive or theoretical entity that occupies a space in the vicinity of your chest cavity. It is a positive, purposeful force at the core of your being. It is that part of you that understands the impersonal nature of the energy dynamics in which you are involved, that loves without restriction and accepts without judgment.
Oh, good morning, everybody. I invite everyone to just take a few deep breaths, settle in where you are to a comfortable posture as we enjoy a time together of stillness, of reflection. In the Gospel of John, Jesus said, "As the branch cannot bear fruit of itself except it abide in the vine, no more can you do so except you abide in me. Herein is my Father glorified, that ye bear much fruit." And so we consider this opportunity for the promise that it is. And we consider ourselves and the choices that we face. The only fruit worth bearing would therefore be the fruit of love. The thoughts of love, the work of love, the presence of love. In our sacred time together, we consider the great vine of life. Love is the vine and we are the branches, always connected yet unique in every expression. And today we recognize the threshold that lay before us and the choices on either side. We consider the courage required to choose love for love's purposes at this threshold. And we affirm we are this courage because courage is love and love is our nature. We invite now into our awareness those places within our consciousness where lovelessness has been too long. And we lovingly embrace and appreciate these places for the lessons they've called forth. And we lovingly release them, realizing the greater good that love intends. For a few moments in the silence, we consider the greater good that love intends in the silence. We consider again the courage required to choose love for love's purposes. And we affirm we are this courage because courage is love and love is our nature. And as love for love, we now invite, through open minds and open hearts, during this sacred time together, the greater good that love intends. And so it is.
Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. Be always there for you. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. Peace I leave with you. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. Always there for you. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. Peace I leave with you.
Thank you all for the beautiful music. Music that I can feel. And I had a conversation with Gill a week or so ago, 2 weeks maybe. Something I can definitely relate to and something I can feel in this room is the healing that happens when people who love to sing together. And when they sing together about a common love and a common message and a common mission. So thank you all. Thank you for bringing that back. Beautiful, beautiful. There's a lot of songs on my heart and on my mind this morning. One that I thought of a few minutes ago was Together Again. Because Ryan Gill and I have a history, not exactly in these roles, but we've done this dance a time or two in unity. It's all ministry, that's right. We've even written a couple of songs together, by and by, in days gone by. But I also have several other songs on my mind, and one that you all may remember is, I bet we've been together for 1,000,000 years. Y'all remember that? I have a funny story about that song. And when I was at Belmont in the late 90s, actually the mid-90s, a group of us drove to Thompson Bowling Arena in Knoxville to see Garth Brooks. And on the way back, one of us decided to delight the group with the question, you all tell me where this came from. Sha-na-na-na. You know that feeling when you can't place something, but you know it? 72 hours. Every person I encountered, okay, hold on, listen. I'm going to sing something, and I want you to clear your mind, and I want you to be totally present, and I need you to tell me where this came from. Are you ready? And they'd be like, yeah. Sha-na-na-na. And they'd be like, and? That's all I've got is sha-na-na-na, and I cannot remember the rest of it, and I know this song. So to be quite honest and fair, I can't remember which one of us remembered where it was from. It was not me. But it was this guy had the time of his life with that. He saw us the next day in class, and he's like, sha-na-na-na. Just having a ball, because we're just, ugh. And nobody could remember. But I watched a lot of TV as a kid. I'm sure you all are surprised. And so theme songs are something that sticks in my mind now more than anything about all of those years that I watched TV. And early to rise, early to bed, in between I cooked and cleaned and went out of my head, right, Alice? So, and I watched Alice every day after school. And there was this song that stuck in my head because after Alice went off, every weekday, and before I went to do whatever was next on my magical agenda at that age, this is it, this is it, this is life, the one you get, so go and have a ball, right? This is it, right? And so I never watched that show. But I can sing the whole theme song because it came on after Alice, which I always watched. And so when I was thinking this morning about what we're going to name this talk, for whatever reason, that song dropped in. This is it. And so I thought I was going to name it that. And then I realized, no, one day at a time, one thought at a time. That's where we are, one thought at a time, right? And so I went in a little bit deeper and I thought, okay, what were those lyrics? This is life, the one you get, so go and have a ball. Sounds like love to me. And then the very next line is, straight ahead and rest assured. No. Hold on a minute. I'm going to have to sing it. This is life, the one you get, to go and have a ball. And then it went, this is it, this is it. Straight ahead and rest assured, you can't be sure at all. Sounds like fear to me. So I thought, wow, that's what we're doing. Okay, we'll do that. That's fine. And that's what this whole talk is about, is that concept of love or fear, which we talk about a lot in this teaching. So it takes me to the introduction of A Course in Miracles. This is a Course in Miracles. It's a required course. Only the time you take it is voluntary. Free will does not mean that you can establish the curriculum. It means only that you can elect what you want to take at a given time. The course does not aim at teaching the meaning of love, for that is beyond what can be taught. It does aim, however, at removing the blocks to the awareness of love's presence. Two of the most important sentences I ever heard in my life. The course does not aim at teaching the meaning of love, for that is beyond what can be taught. It does aim, however, at removing the blocks to the awareness of love's presence, which is your natural inheritance. Man, how many do you think are really walking around the earth thinking love is my natural inheritance and is my nature? That has the power to change everything, right? Okay, so here we are at the threshold. The opposite of love is fear, but what is all-encompassing can have no opposite. This course can therefore be summed up very simply in this way. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Here lies the peace of God. Right? So at home we would say probably something like, woo! That's in Appalachia. Or something like that. We might not say it like that, but something to those effects. Man, that's very powerful stuff. That means basically that any disagreement I have with somebody, anytime I've felt lessened, anytime I've felt diminished, anytime I've made someone feel diminished, it's not real. Man, it's not real. It feels real, right? It feels real. But what's real is love. And to be enlightened is to recognize the world of suffering is an illusion. Suffering doesn't exist because God didn't create suffering. Suffering exists because in majority we are believing a lie that is creative. We're creative, no matter where we're aligned. So if we're aligned with love, we're creative. If we're aligned with fear, we're creative. The opportunity, right? We have it in us to be God, which means to think with love. That's A Course in Miracles. That's not me. And every time we think a loving thought, we literally co-create with God because God is the love inside our minds. However, we also have the freedom, which means we can think with love if we choose. But because we have freedom, we have the choice to think unloving thoughts, to allow the places in our consciousness where lovelessness still resides to lead. Right. Course in Miracles says, only love is real. Course in Miracles also says, illusions are as powerful in their effects as the truth. And so in this world of form, if we are living an illusion, if we are living a hallucination, we still experience the effects of that illusion. Last night I heard something really powerful, and I'll get later in the talk to where it came from, but somebody used the acronym DENIAL. Do you know where I'm going with this? Didn't even know I am lying. Denial. And let me tell you, it doesn't matter that no begins with a K and not an N because it still works. Didn't even know I am lying. Denial. That is big. That is big. And so here we are, we're literally in the midst of this threshold, this waking up, but literally some of us are looking for the coffee pot and others of us are in the bed going, no, hitting the snooze, trying to find the snooze. Somewhere. Shut it off. Let me go back. I don't want it to be the way that I'm scared that it might be. And it's understandable because change is scary. We don't know that a blank canvas necessarily means we're going to create something magnificent. And so sometimes we are frozen by perfection. Sometimes we do look at that blank canvas and we look at those paints and we think, I'm going to mess it up. I can't. There's no way. There's no way I can just trust myself to create from the love that I am and know that it will serve where it's needed to serve. So because A Course in Miracles tells us there's two emotions, love and fear, even though fear stands for false evidence appearing real, we know this, because of the realm in which we live and the truth of the laws that govern this realm, our fear is still real for us. Our fear is very real for us, and it affects what choices we make. And we think about how fear can and has and continues to do some devastating things on this planet. 5 years ago in June, when I say the name Dylan Roof, not everyone will remember that name and why that's significant. Some people will. But I think it's important that we remember today why it's significant, because Dylan Roof is the man who went into Emmanuel AME Church in Charleston, South Carolina in June of 2015, prayed with and participated in Bible study with a group of African American church members, and then killed 9 of them, shot them dead in cold blood. And he left one to survive so that he could tell this person, so that they could relay, I'm doing this because you all are taking over our country. And if that's not fear, that has to be fear. But my question to you all is, do you think that Dylan Roof had named his fear? When he went in there that day, do you think he was consciously acting out from a place of awareness of a named and known fear that he held? Well, we don't know. We can't know. But the truth is, the opportunity is the same for us. And that is to realize that unnamed fear has the capacity to kill our dreams, to kill our possibilities. And that's why it's important that our fears have names like our shoes. Right? Like we know, everybody knows what a shoe is. I got it in my mind. I can see them in my closet. It's not a problem. I'm right to it. But when you start talking about things that we're really afraid of, you know how it gets really kind of, that's deep, right? We don't necessarily have those named to where we can call on them immediately and where we can recognize them immediately so that we can choose otherwise, one thought at a time. So a lot of times we have this fear of loss, right? Fear of loss, but when you think about it, some things that we lose are good losses. I'll never forget one time, I've talked about in here before, many weekends in the past I've spent at Edwin Gaines Retreat Center recovering myself is basically the work that I now see in hindsight we were doing. And so we weren't in session with Edwin, but there were a group of us, all women, of course. Thank God for the women in my life. All women. And one of them is an intuitive, and she was doing a reading on me. And she was basically just, tell me what you want. Tell me what you want. Because you can have what you want, but you need to order it. You need to sit down here and you need to take stock in what you want and do this. And I don't remember what I said, but what I remember her saying to me was, Vic, there is so much doubt in what you are saying about what you want, that you are literally saying it and ending it simultaneously. You are literally speaking it and negating it. She said, here's what you need to do. And that's why it wasn't really coaching. It was a reading, right? Because if it's coaching, you don't tell them what they should do. I'm learning this. But anyway, it was a reading. And so she said, what you have to do is you have to leave that doubt at this table right now. It does not go further than this table. You leave it here right now today. That made sense to me. I don't need doubt. Roads. Where we're going, we don't need roads. Doubt, where we're going, we don't need doubt. So I left my doubt. Hopefully I did. One thing I know for sure that ceremony did for me that day was that it made me mindful of my doubt. And so therefore, from that point forward, when my doubt showed up, I was like, oh, see, I don't have to listen to that. I don't have to do what that doubt says because I know what it is. And I know where I got it, and that's okay too. Name our fears. Name our fears. So then it becomes not about holding on to anything, but simply aligning with our truth and showing up for what is organically there as the result. We don't have to necessarily fear loss. We have to understand our power in alignment. Because what is ours by right of consciousness. And we have to know, it's our invitation to know. I hear my coach in my head, you don't have to do anything. We have the invitation to know that if something of form moves out of my life, I'm creative by nature. I'm provision by nature. And if I don't have doubt in the soup, what happens? A new form moves in to take its place. So here's something really interesting. The Gospel of Luke, chapter 15, verse 4, talks about the parable of the lost sheep. Tell me, suppose a man has 100 sheep and one of them goes astray. Will he not leave the 99 on the hillside and go in search of the stray? I tell you solemnly, if he finds it, it gives him more joy than the 99 did that did not go astray at all. Now, there's a really important reason that I just learned this week, by the way, why the number 100, why there are 100 sheep. Not a man had a flock of sheep and one went away. Or there were some sheep on a hill and one of them got lost, right? It's precisely 100 sheep. 100 is part of the teaching because it has a mystical significance. 100 signifies unity, right? It represents totality in God. So when we look at it this way, suppose a man has totality in God and a part of it wanders off, right? Rendering consciousness incomplete, or the lovelessness that we talked about last week. But, check this out. I love this image, and you all in here can't see it, but it's a shepherd with a sheep on his back. And in my mind, he's bringing that sheep back to the flock. The way that we can lovingly carry back our thoughts of doubt into the love that we are and allow them to be transformed by the love we are back into a consciousness that can enable us to show up as we are. Yes, in truth, right? I love that. I love that image. I love it. So we really are at the threshold of a new world. Because we're starting to understand in mass the effects of fear and the effects of love, the possibilities for love, right? And so we're going to, a little foreshadowing, next week we're going to talk more about this, but the book of Esther, the story of Esther talks about, what if you were brought to royalty for a time such as this? And that's why it's so important for us to be able to name our fears, name our sheep that are lost, so that we can call them back into the flock, back into our totality in God, and be here and be present as warriors for love. That's what we are. And that's what's needed, right, in this time of life. So I tell you what, I've mentioned before that my sister, I talked about the women in my life. My sister, she's the one who said to me when I was 17 years old, Victor, what they think about you is not about you. You are not in that. You choose what is true about you. As a 17-year-old young man, I was like, what? I'm not in that? What do you mean I'm not in that? I can feel it. I can feel that I'm in that. You're not in that. You have a choice, the truth or an illusion. What they think about you is an illusion for you. You don't know what they truly think. You know what you think about what they think, right? So she's like this, I don't even know what to call her in my life, an angel in my life. And she wrote this, and this literally, I said to her, why is this not published? And she said, well, it's because I just wrote it. And and she said, but it's okay. It's all right, whatever. We both got our fathers out. This is what she wrote, and I love this with all my heart. A very deep sadness left me today. A sadness that has been the source of all my unhappiness. The pain was incredibly strong, like what I would imagine giving birth to feel like. It was fear, pain, anguish, and despair, wrapped in a heat ball of fire. The after effects still linger, but I feel that my perspective is forever changed. I can see a path now, a path out of here, a path to a new life. In this new life, we can go anywhere and do anything, and all our needs are met. We will carry a backpack. In it, we carry what we need to survive. All of our good thoughts, happy memories, and our love are weightless. It costs us nothing to carry them. On the contrary, our fearful thoughts, painful memories, and our doubts are massively heavy. It takes all our energy to bear the weight. It makes us so tired that we cannot enjoy our new freedom to explore this fresh life. Think about that. Our fear makes us so tired that we cannot see or enjoy our new freedom to explore this fresh life. In this backpack, we will carry our tools that help us find our way home should we get lost. The tools that we have sharpened with experience and wisdom. The tools of laughter, compassion, and a good night's rest. These tools will help us build this new life on a strong foundation and a solid support system. But we cannot go into this new life wearing old shoes. Our oldest pair, the ones that we keep in the closet because they were very expensive and we got them on clearance, they really don't fit. And they hurt when we try to wear them. Actually, when we really look at them, they're outdated and unattractive. May we put on brand new shoes, load up our backpacks, and enter that life together. Sweet Lord Jesus. I added that part. I'm telling you, I thought, man. Now, this was Monday of this past week when we had this conversation about what she had just written. And I'm considering this threshold, this concept of threshold, the magnitude or intensity that must be exceeded for a certain reaction, phenomenon, result, or condition to occur or to be manifested. Threshold. Now, my right hand to God, I get up this morning to finish this talk, and I thought to myself, I have not yet looked at what Denise has written this week. Threshold. Love and fear. That's exactly what she wrote about this morning. And she says, and I got this image of us being in the closet, like in the, looking at our shoes. And Denise said, it is, man, I wish I could read this, Deb. we have an opportunity here. Yeah, it is as if the human race is hanging out in the hallway between two different rooms or paths, and we are beginning to choose. And I read that to you all like you can't read it on the screen, which cracks me up. But anyway, and I thought, man, that's where we go after the closet. We go the hallway. And we decide which way we're going to go. So Denise, we love you. And you're obviously with us every minute of every day. And I've obviously lost my battery. So we'll see how this works. That's okay. That's all right. I think I got it now. I felt a little which might mean it turned back on. So last night I caught this show called The Oprah Conversation. It's brand new on Apple TV. And for those of you who know me know that I am all about Miss Winfrey all day, every day. Always have been. But last night she has a two-part conversation series of and she's sitting down and talking to Emmanuel Acho. And he is the man, the black man, who decided it was his opportunity to launch a conversation series on YouTube called Challenging Conversations with a Black Man, or again, I can't read the font now. Thank you. Difficult Conversations with a Black Man. And the first one that he did got 30 million views. 30 million views because he followed his impetus. He followed his impetus. And so he was the one last night that was speaking about, I feel like I've been born for a time such as this. And he and Oprah talked about their Esther moment. I loved it. But he said something else that I literally came up off the sofa when he said this. And that is, it can be our choice to be the chosen. It can be our choice to be the chosen. So if not me, who? If not now, when? Or as the judge would say, why not me? Right? Right? So we've talked about what we are. Imelda Shanklin, several weeks ago. What we are. We are love in form of the eternal realm, always ongoing, energy that can neither be created nor destroyed. That's what we are. And we talked about where we are and the crucial nature of this time, right? Like my grandmother said, y'all come on. It's time. So we talked about where we are. And today we're talking about who we are, because who we are has to do with the choice that we have consciously on this 3D plane. Who we are. So instead of trying to define that, because we know that, Lord, we can be a lot of things. A lot of things, and it depends on the moment, self-included. But who are we in our right minds? That's where we're going this morning. Who are we in our right minds? And I offer to you that in our right minds, we are focused, chosen, co-creative forces for good. And so it is.
I will be a force for good in this world. Each day I'll give my best. I will be a source of constant love, bringing hope and happiness. It's more than just the words I say. It's more than just the prayers I pray. It's acts of kindness I do each day. I'll bring peace and joy and love I will be a force for good in this world. I'll reach out to those in need. I will be a light where darkness lies. By example I will lead. It's more than just the words I say. It's more than just the prayers I pray. It's acts of kindness I do each day. I'll bring peace and joy and love. It's more than just the words I say. It's more than just the prayers I pray. With Spirit as my source, I will stay the course. I will be a force for good in this
Say it with us, if you will, wherever you are. The
The
light of God surrounds us.
The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Let go and let God. Let go and let God. Let go and let God be in charge. And let my worries go. Let go and let God. Let go and let God. Let go and let God be in charge. And let my worries go. Let go and let God be in charge. And let my worries go.